Over to our table.
We are looking at having two options. The first option is to have more of a pathways for bicycles and walking paths to go from Van Assel to come down on, this is the primary route, is along Myrtle. Myrtle. Come down here, but also, what is this street down here, Brian?
Holly Park Drive.
Holly Park Drive. So these two are going to be the primary venues to connect through John C. Little and then with Othello Park. With a secondary pathway along the back of Van Assel, coming down through Holly Park and going to the back door of where the UGM again. Going to the back of John C. Little and King Plaza and so on and so forth, and connect back out here down to Othello Playground. And the idea is so that there will have alternatives for people walking through the various neighborhoods. So this is this option is like we have all the money in the world, and this is not so much money in the world. And but along the areas we're looking at a broader perspective of visual cues of creating gateways and a little access here is just like I think. Kiosks of information to let people know demarcations of like unique features of each of the area that are connect the communities together. So we're talking about the gateways concept, and that is Van Assel Playground and the community center here as more of an indoor kinds of programming emphasis, but we want to have a gateway grand and large enough where people kind of like know, okay, this is the one area, and then if this is point A and Othello Park is point B, the gateway down to Othello Park got to be grand and big. Looking at the amphitheater concept, Flags of the Nation concept, that it would, for people up from the hill, can identify and can see visually cueing and seeing, hey, there's my point B, my destination. So that it'll shrink that distance, that psychological distance between that and down here. So as folks going through, we'll funnel and channeling them to come to John C. Little Park, where this is more going to be some of the community-oriented garden type with that will emphasize some of the cultural communities, ethnic communities within our neighborhood, and then that'll connect them down to the Othello Playground and vice versa. So this is more of an outdoor kinds of cultural identities and icons, little cultural education going on here, but also once they come down here, then it'll be another grand area for large celebrations and connection. So this is our concept, and some of the things that we're looking at is having kiosks, to identify who we are, cultural language, that kind of stuff that will situate along the way, so help educate and inform. From the arts tapestry, there will be other way to hung down with interpretive information about these art pieces. We could looking at connection points for bike, natural path, community garden with Asians and other ethnic features, Green Street, and looking at tall ways, icons to connect the gateways from point A to point B.
And Lynn wanted Phoenix as a symbol, potential symbol. So just like International District, you get phoenixes, you hang them on stuff, you have them everywhere. As an idea. What's a neighborhood mascot that we could have?
Well, apparently Sun Transit thinks it's a prancing deer.
Yeah. Prancing deer. Yeah. I know. The most random station mascot, the prancing deer. So we can lobby to change that to the prancing phoenix. Every year,
it's my favorite pub.
We'll start out by burning the deer, but then it comes back as a phoenix.
Yeah.
Burning the deer in the public gathering.
Burning the deer in the gathering.
The reverse Phoenix.
Reverse Phoenix.
Okay, yeah. So did I miss anything else, guys?
Just building out the Chief Self Trail this way.
Right. Okay.
Kind of goes sideways. That's
right. So this is the building out the Chief Self thing that we were talking about. Is that if the city of Seattle ended up finishing this out, it then helped diminish some of the concern for folks, residents in this area, so like an increased foot traffic in their neighborhood so much. But it'll still then be, it'll still for them to say, hey, this is the values for us to have a pathway for us to walk and connect to here and go up this way, and so on and so forth. Now it'll be easier for them to buy, to be cool with that idea. Right? Otherwise, we foresee objections from neighborhoods in terms of home ownership and home values.
Excellent.
I would object as a bike rider or pedestrian because there's no safe place to walk.
We're just, making a wild guess, but
yeah,
that's it.
That's it.
Thanks. Great. Nice work.